Hello and welcome to this lecture, and in this lecture we are going to learn a little bit about indexing and slicing in a Numpy array. So we have already learned about slicing or indexing a particular array, but we are going to learn the same thing in Numpy, that is how we could go ahead and index and slice a particular Numpy array. So let's first go ahead and quickly create a Numpy array. So we will type in import, and after import we will type in Numpy, as we want to import Numpy as np. And then we basically go ahead and create a basic array of, let's say, 10 elements into it. So we will type np dot range, and in here let's pass in 10 as a number, and let's first print out the value of this particular array so as to check how this thing actually looks like. So if you run this code now, as you could see, now we have 10 elements from 0 to 9, and now let's go ahead and learn how we could slice this particular array. So in order to slice a particular array, what we could do is that we could go ahead and create a slice object. So you could type in s equals slice, and in here what you need to do is that you need to specify 3 parameters. So the first parameter is going to be the index from where you want to actually slice your particular array. So let's say you want to slice it up from position number 2, and then let's say you want to slice it up till position number 7. So you type 2,7, and the third parameter in here is nothing but it's actually going to be the step, and step is nothing but how many digits are you going to skip in between. So let's say you are going to have a step of 2. So once you have created this slice, what you simply need to do is that you need to apply this slice to the index of the array A. So let's print out the result by typing print, and in here for the array A, let's pass in this slice over here. So once you do that and once you run this code, as you could see, it actually sliced the elements from position 2 to position 7 with a step of 2 in between. So if you could notice, this is position number 0, 1 and 2. So this thing right here is 2, this is 3, 4, 5, 6, and this thing right here is 7. So what it actually did is that, as we have mentioned the step equal 2, and as the starting is 2 itself, it actually starts from the index position 2. It starts from here, and then it actually has a step of 2. That means it's going to skip 1 digit in between. It's going to pick up the next, then again it's going to skip the next one, and it's going to pick up the next, so on and so forth. So that's how you could basically go ahead and slice up a Numpy array. And let's learn another way to slice up this particular array. So let's again print out the value of A, and hopefully the value of A should be intact. So as you could see, we still have the same elements over here. And now another way to slice up this array is that, let's say we store the result in array B. So we type B equals A, and in here in this index notation, you could basically go ahead and you could mention the same parameters, but instead of specifying them in brackets and separated by commas, you now specify them in square brackets, and in here you separate those values, and in here you separate those values by using a colon. So you could type in 2 colon 7 colon 2. So that's actually going to give you the same result as this one right here. So if you actually go ahead and print out the array B, as you could see, you still have the same result which was present right over here. So this is how you could basically go ahead and slice up a particular Numpy array. So until now we have learned 2 ways. Now let's say you actually want to start slicing from a particular position, but you want to keep on going till the end. So in that case, what you could simply do is that you could type in the array name, and in the index notation you could basically specify the starting of your array from where you want to begin slicing up the array. So let's say you want to start slicing from 2. So you type in 2, give a colon, and when you run this code, as you could see, it started from 2 and it actually kept slicing unless and until it encountered the end of this particular array. And also what you could simply do is that you could also slice it up between 2 index values. So if you specify 5 over here, and if you run this code, as you could see, it's actually going to slice up those array elements till 5. So the same principle could also be applied on a multi-dimensional array as well. So as you could see, this thing was quite simple. That is how to slice up a single dimensional array, but let's consider you have multi-dimensional array. So let's go ahead and create a 3-dimensional array, and let's see how the slicing works on that particular thing. So let's say we create a new array A. So we will type a equals np dot, that's going to be array, and in here let's pass in a few values. So even before doing that, let's take a square bracket, and within the square bracket let's have another square bracket, and let's say the array elements are 1 2 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6 comma 7 comma 8, and within this 7 comma 8 comma 9. So as you could see, this is actually a 3 by 3 array, and if you actually go ahead and print this thing out, let's see what we are able to get. So if you run this code, as you could see, we get a 3 by 3 array. And now let's try to slice up this array by using these methods which we have applied over here. So if you could actually type in print a and specify the starting position as 1, and if you run this code, as you could see, what happens is that it completely slices up this first position or this first array, which is 1 2 3, and we get remaining two arrays, which is 4 5 6 and the 7 8 9. So what if you actually start slicing it from the position number 2? So if you do that and if you run this code, as you could see, now the slicing actually starts from here. So it's actually similar to that of the single dimensional array. The only difference here is that instead of removing a single element, it actually removes the entire array from a particular two-dimensional array. So that's how you could go ahead and perform slicing on multi-dimensional arrays as well. And what you could do is that you could try to alter the values or add more rows to this particular array and try to perform different types of slicing on this particular array and see what kind of results do you get. So that's about it, and in the next lecture we will learn a few more advanced indexing and slicing techniques. So these were actually the common or normal slicing techniques which we have learned. So in the next lecture, the techniques are going to be a bit complex and a bit more advanced. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.